What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John. This is the Fantasy Football Academy. Today we're going to be talking about four guys going under the radar in your fantasy football drafts. So the season's creeping up. I believe we're only 23 days away. It's time to get all that information going before your drafts. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video.
Stops, spins, puts it forward for the touchdown. Wilson, wow! What a catch! Touchdown, Jets! That kid's amazing. Their team is given time. He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Loading. He's going to heave one for the front right. Palmer drops it in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to be talking about four players. Yes, four players that you should be drafting in your fantasy football leagues. And I'm going to be talking about Tyrone Tracy. Now, he got hurt at practice just the other day, and I was even thinking about taking him off this list because of that. I honestly think I jinxed him at one point or another because when I was talking about sleepers, the next day he literally was in an air cast, and there was potential talk about a Sears injury and surgery. But that is not happening. Tracy only has a high ankle sprain, so he's going to miss a few weeks. I think he's going to miss a few games to start the year, which is even better because he's probably going to go undrafted in most cases. And you can potentially pick this guy up as your last pick in fantasy drafts. Put him on your IR spot and kind of just stash him because I really think he's going to be the PPR guy in the Giants offense. He showed some potential in the preseason. I know Eric Gray had a good preseason as well. He broke off some runs, but I'm not really too convinced. What we saw last year with Eric Gray with his 2.8 yards per carry. Tracy is a tackle breaking machine. We saw it at the college level. I think he's going to be showing a lot going into the season. This is a guy that converted from wide receiver to running back, so he's still learning the position, but he's got a high ankle sprain. He's probably going to go undrafted in most circumstances. So please do me a favor, just keep him on your radar. If you're not going to draft him, at least take a look at him because we're going to be talking about this guy at some point during the season on waiver wires when they hit. Listen, it's very clear that Singletary is going to be the workhorse back, but God forbid something happens to him. This offense is going to be a mess. They're going to be trailing in games, and Tracy offers a lot of PPR upside. So go ahead and stash this guy late. I think he's worth a spot, definitely on your IR spot if you have IR in your leagues, but even with your last pick in the fantasy drafts. And guys, this is another video where we're going to be talking about Jayden Daniels. Listen, I know I keep talking about him, but I kind of fell in love. Love at first sight. I think he's going to have a lot of success at the NFL level. I think he is not only going late in fantasy drafts. I understand why. Obviously, he's a rookie. People don't really know, especially the casuals. They're not have been watching him in college, but I think he's considered a sleeper in most circumstances because he's going almost close to the double-digit rounds, and people are not really looking at him somebody that could finish in the top 5 at his position. But Jayden Daniels, he's got a lot of upside with his legs. I think that's no question. I've talked about that many times before, but I don't think people have really recognized how much upside he carries. So let's break it down. In 2023, when Jayden Daniels escaped outside the pocket, he was looking to run. 83 of those dropbacks where he ended up outside the pocket, he had 36 of those dropbacks resulting in a scramble. So that means 43% of the time Daniels left outside the pocket, he was scrambling. His success rate on those plays was nearly 70%. So when he goes outside the pocket, he's not looking to throw the ball. And when he does run the ball, he's getting a lot of yards and he's having a lot of success rushing those yards. So I think this is a potential where we can have a Justin Fields type season. I think he's a better passer than Justin Fields personally, but I'm not really too worried about anything when it comes to passing. He's got the weapons, he's got the rushing ability, and most of all, I just pray and I hope he can survive at the NFL level. He's a little thin for his frame, but he carries tremendous upside in the double digit rounds. I think he's definitely somebody who's going to beat his ADP. I think he's a guy that can finish in the 7th, 8th area when it comes to quarterbacks. So I think he's worth a gander if you've missed out on the Dak Prescotts and the Jalen Hurts and the Josh Allens of the world if you didn't want to draft them too early. This guy carries just as much upside with his legs. Please do not sleep on him because he's a rookie. And the third guy we're going to be talking about today is going to be Jalen Polk. Listen, it's not going to be a question. The Patriots' offense is going to be an absolute dumpster fire this year. Um, but there has to be someone. There has to be someone in this offense that's going to stand outside of Stevenson. There's got to be somebody that is going to be fantasy relevant, and I'm going to put all my money on that's going to be Polk. The Patriots drafted him in the 2nd round, so he has the draft capital. This is the coaching staff that picked this guy, picked him early. It doesn't look like there's going to be any Brandon Ayuk trade or nothing like that. So there's going to be volume, obviously, because the Patriots are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. This is a team that's going to be trailing in the majority of their games, going to be throwing the ball like crazy. Somebody has to step up in this offense, and Polk is my guy. I think he has the potential to be at least a back end wide receiver 3. I know, Drake May hasn't really looked too great. I've heard rumors of, uh, Milton potentially playing better than him, but um, you know, this is the Patriots offense that's all in Drake May. He's going to eventually be on the field if he doesn't start the season. And May's already building a chemistry with Polk. So we already know at some point during the year, May's going to be, slinging the ball around. This is going to be a guy, this is going to be his go to weapon. We've already heard a ton of things about their chemistry going into practices and whatnot. So this guy's basically going for free in most cases. 14th, 15th round, pretty much the last pick in your fantasy drafts. Go ahead and scoop this guy up. Be patient. Don't drop him if he's got, 4 catches for 20 yards in week 1. This is a guy that might catch fire mid-season, okay? Especially with the news about Drake May potentially not starting the year. So hang on to your seatbelts. I think Polk is a guy that we're going to be talking about on the waiver wire. But I'm telling you here and now, early before the season even starts, keep an eye on Polk. And ladies and gentlemen, the last guy we're going to be talking about is Rashee Rice. There has been absolutely zero chatter about this guy. The only thing that we've talked about Rice in the offseason is his incidents with the accidents and speeding recklessly. We thought that this guy would have a suspension handed out to him. For some reason, the NFL has not done that. It's probably going to be happening in 2025 at some point, but it looks like he's good to go to play the entire year. And because of that, I think he's kind of slipped in drafts and people have forgotten about him because we all expected him to be suspended for 2, 3, 4 games maybe. I think the news about Xavier Worthy has kind of dampened his ADP as well. Obviously, that's another weapon into this Hollywood Brown signing. So there's a lot of new additions to this offense, but I don't think any of these guys really stand a chance against Rashee Rice. I think he's going to be the second favorite target outside of Kelsey in this offense. Obviously, this is a Chiefs offense. This is one of the offenses you want to hold fantasy pieces in. And actually, we just got some news today that Hollywood Brown is going to be missing some time. So I expect Rice's ADP to kind of move up just a tad. Hopefully, not too much, of course. But, he right now, before the ADP skyrockets because of the Hollywood Brown injury, he's going at wide receiver 37. So he's probably going to go into that 28, 29 range after the news about Hollywood Brown. But again, he's going in 9th round. I expect him to go in the 8th and 7th round moving forward. He's going to be rising up the boards a little bit if you have your fantasy draft tomorrow, sometime this week, go ahead and snag him right now because in the upcoming weeks, he's going to be rising. Okay? And there's nobody in this offense that's going to be taking his targets away outside of Kelsey. So I'm all in on Rashee Rice in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video. Please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you like fantasy football content, and do me a favor, drop us something in the comments. What do you think about these guys? Do you think they're going to be sleepers? Are these guys that you're going to be targeting in your drafts? Who do you think is a sleeper that I did not talk about today? Drop something down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. But other than that, folks, it's been fun. We will see you in the next video.